But all of a sudden, the fog comes around, the yaks get scattered and turn direction. Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And Yaks.
When was the last time you saw a yak?
A yak's my best friend.
Oh, lucky you.
Oh. This is our Check It Out series where we showcase various games to you. And this week we're taking a look at the game called
Yak Yak it out.
Yak It Out?
See what I did there?
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yak is designed by Michael Luu and published by Pretzel Games.
In this game, you'll take the role of a stone tower builder. And you're building this tower so you can help the yak and the merchants travel safely through the Himalayas and deliver their goods.
Because it's foggy.
Exactly.
Can't see.
Well, with that out of the way, let's take a quick look at how to play the game.
You'll begin by setting up. Each player gets a player board, 3 action cards, and 1 of each of the resources. The main board will be set up as follows, with a mountain board on the side. Your goal is to score the most points by building a stone tower to help guide the yaks. The game is played in rounds. You'll keep playing until one player has completed the 4th level of the stone tower. You get an additional day, and then final scoring will occur. Now each round is a day and has 3 periods, sunrise, noon, and sunset. During sunrise, all players simultaneously choose a card and play it face down in front of them. Now at noon, actions are revealed and played starting with a player with a baby yak. Build allows you to exchange any combination of food tokens for stone with a carriage in front of you. You'll pay according to the graph, 1 for 1, 3 for 2, and 5 for 3 stones. Crystal stones are wild and cost an additional food token per stone. You'll notice each carriage has restrictions. For example, no bread in this carriage, no meat, or no milk. In one of them you can only exchange 2 resources at a time, not 3. After exchanging, you'll be able to place the stone in your stone tower. The first you can place anywhere, and all the stones after that have to be adjacent to the ones already placed. Connected stones of the same color form groups and are worth more points at the end of the game. Now if this results in an empty carriage, it's refilled with 3 stone. Restock allows you to take all the food tokens of one type from the carriage in front of you and draw a stone from the quarry bag and add it to that carriage. Now Market allows you to take any 2 food tokens from the center and then draw 3 stones from the quarry bag, pick one and place it in any of the carriages of your choice. Now a quick note, a carriage has a limit of 4 stone and 9 food tokens, and you cannot hold more than 8 food tokens. Now the rise of the fog. If at any point a white stone block is drawn, the yaks reverse direction. The white stone is placed on the mountain track and a new stone is drawn. When the mountain track fills up for the first time, all 3 fogs go back into the bag and the fog marker is removed. When it's filled for the second time with 4 stones now, they remain there. When any additional white stones are drawn, the action is completed and then they're simply returned to the bag. Now last period is sunset. Everyone takes back their card, the baby yak is passed to the next player, and all the carriages move in the direction they're facing. And then a new day begins. Now when a player completes the 4th level of their stone tower, they'll obtain the stupa marker, another day is played, and then final scoring can begin. Now points are scored in various ways. They're scored for each group size, the number of groups you have. The stupa marker is worth 3, each individual stone is worth 1, and the player with the most food tokens gets 2 points. The scores are calculated and the player with the most wins. Now as an advanced mode, you can also play with bonus cards. They give an objective for each of the colors of the stones and are placed here during the game. So what do you yak?
I don't yak.
Yak yak?
No. This game is fun. It's not my type of game, but it's definitely, I can see the appeal.
I think it's hilarious that there's these yaks and the first player is the baby yak, and I enjoy this game. I think it's a very simple set collection that we literally can show anybody. It's very simple. It's very appealing to the eye, which is why I really enjoy it.
Let's just dive right into our comparables.
Okay, what did you compare it to?
I said that this game was like a simple Athenium.
Ooh, how come?
Yeah, because you're basically like, you're making moves and drafting cards in Athenium, playing those cards essentially simultaneously, and then completing the goals that are in front of you. And I feel like that's similar to what's happening here in Yak, except it's very isolated, and it's much more easier.
That's fair. I think my comparable would actually be Azul.
Oh.
Because you're again taking specific stones each of the rounds. Here you have to pay for them, but in Azul you just take them. But then depending on how many you have and how they're placed, in the orientation that they're placed, you get points. So it's a little bit of how am I going to place these blocks, but also which ones am I going to collect. So I think it has like very vague similarity. I think Yak is much simpler. But it has a little bit of like correlation. Like if you enjoy Yak, I think the next step up would be to play Azul, in my opinion.
That's a good point. I like that because it's like the trailers hold the cubes, the stones, and then those stones change, and you kind of like decide what you want to take based on what's there.
Moment, whenever you take, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. So why should you check out Yak?
Well, I think we kind of already talked about this a little bit, but this game is like very easy. It's very easy to teach. You can basically only take 3 actions. And then the tricky part that you have to figure out is how you're going to build your tower. So in that sense, it's quick to learn, easy to teach, and kind of like checks those boxes if you're looking for a game to introduce to people who aren't necessarily board gamers, or if they're a little bit younger. A lot of different reasons you could show somebody this game.
Or somebody who's seasoned. Like I particularly enjoy this game too. It's a fun little lighter game that you can kind of wrap your head around.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say too is it's a good game to kind of learn and plan what you're gonna do, because like Tyler said, there's only really 3 actions, but the tug and pull is when do you take resources and when do you use those resources to pay for the carriages. Because the carriages actually have like limits. Some of them you can't give milk to, you can't give bread to, while others,
well, no, they all
have limits.
Yeah,
they all have limits.
Essentially, one can't have one of the 3.
One of the 3 when you pay, yeah. So it makes it a bit tricky in that aspect. But what's really fun is the fog. Because you'll have it all planned out. You'll say, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But all of a sudden, the fog comes around, the yaks get scattered and turn direction. So the one that you just bought pretty much everything from and has barely any resources and you need resources, it's back. And that's sad.
Or maybe the one that you were going to buy is on that side, and the other one just so happens to have a restriction of not having that one resource that you've already just stockpiled. So it's kind of unfortunate when that does happen. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But I think that's what makes it fun. And the production in this game is just out of this world. The little carriages, they're not even, so they actually wobble a little, kind of going down. The yaks themselves, the boards, all the components is just a beautiful and remarkable game. Beautiful is one way to put it, yes. It is a very beautiful game. I guess right into like why you shouldn't check it out.
Why you shouldn't check it out.
I would argue that this game is like overproduced. So like it is great, it's beautiful, I love the yaks, I love the wagons. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that they did this. What I'm trying to say is that for what you're actually getting in terms of like meat of the game, this particular game looks like it's a way more than it really is.
I agree with that. I think there's definitely, it looks more complex and it has more going on than it actually is. But I'll also say, like, I think the production, I guess this is a not check it out section, so I shouldn't be positive. But I was going to say the production is, I think, what makes this game. Because I think if this was just like a simple, you pass resources to kind of take them, I don't think the game would be as good. So I think the high production actually makes up in the low complexity and kind of, it's the scales of the true balance.
Damn it.
Any other reason?
Not from my end. Like, it's just a simple game.
I think what I'll say is, so they have the cards to add like the goals for the blocks to kind of add a variability. I think there's a lot that could have been done to kind of scale up the complexity in this game. Besides, like even making those goals a bit more like personal objectives, for example, is like have a certain pattern of a block. I think that would make it much more interesting. So I think there could have been a little bit more done to kind of scale it up once you are really familiar with the game.
That's true.
And I think that's the only reason that I would really say.
It's not that I don't like this game, it's just it's not my type of game. I really like meaty games, so this one just like, I guess to that point, if you're looking for a little bit of a heavier game, then Yak is not in that realm at all.
What would you compare it in complexity to?
What would I compare it in complexity to?
Is that a tough question?
That's a tough question. I don't know if it... Like, what's a light game that comes to your mind, like, right away?
Well, I asked you the question because I didn't know the answer.
Not particularly to Yak,
not
but
particularly
just in
to
general.
Yak.
What is a light game that you can think
hard.
of?
Like Go Fish.
It's heavier than Go Fish. I promise you that. Like, I guess, in my opinion, it's lighter than Point Salad.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because Point Salad, the combination. So it's definitely quite a light game. I think like the primary game of it is really putting the stones together and trying to figure out the best configuration to get points.
Yeah, exactly. But with that said, beautiful game. It's been fun to play, and we'll keep on showing it to people because we think it's like one of those perfect types of games.
It definitely fits the category of somebody who hasn't played a lot of games or is newer to board games because it's beautiful. It's very like the Yaks you want to just play with the whole time. It's very engaging. It's also you don't wait too long for turns.
It has a lot of mechanics that eventually can evolve into a lot more complicated things, which I really appreciate.
And there's a lot of comparisons too. Like if you really like the block aspect of it, let's try this game. If you really like the kind of playing a card for actions, let's try this game. And so yeah,
it is a building Yak.
It is a Yak Yak.
Yak games. Building Yak. It's a building Yak, not a building block.
Building Yak.
Building Yak.
Or a Yak block.
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, for our question of the day, we have I don't know if we asked this one.
Maybe we did. Ask it again.
What is your favorite animal and why?
Oh.
Did we ask this one?
Probably because I love otters and I've talked about it before, so.
Why is otter your favorite animal? Are you sure it's your favorite animal?
No, I know it's my favorite animal.
Are you sure?
I'm most 100% guaranteed. Oh. Did you know that they hide things in their armpits as like a refrigerator?
That's what I do.
They hold hands when they're sleeping so that they don't get lost.
That's pretty cute.
While floating down the river. There are, I have a lot of random facts about them.
If you want an otter facts video, comment down below.
Maybe not.
I don't know if I have a favorite animal, but I feel like mine would just by default be otters because Tyler talks about them.
That's cheating.
Okay, fine, I'll choose a different one. I think I would pick a parrot because I like parrots. They're fun. They can speak different words. They also have personalities, and I like that.
Personalities of 2-year-olds.
Well, some like the Quaker parrots, for example, do. They have a temperament of a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching. You know what to do.
Hit that like button if you liked what you saw here. Press that subscribe if you want to stay tuned for the more videos that we release. Every week. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Until next time, though, this is us checking out. Happy gaming.
Bye-bye.